Hello friends. Friends, we were discussing about the chapter of retirement of a partner, right? In this chapter, what we have done so far is calculation of new profit sharing ratio. Calculation of new profit sharing ratio, right? This new profit sharing ratio is for the remaining partners, okay? Because one of the partners is retiring from the firm, so his share will go to the partners who are going to be who will be continuing the partnership firm in the future, right? Now in this lecture we are going to discuss about a new topic, that is gaining ratio, right? We're going to discuss a new topic, that is gaining ratio. Now what is a gaining ratio? First of all, one thing you people must have understood, that in case of retirement, the remaining partners are acquiring the share of a retiring partner. It is a gain for the remaining partners, isn't it? Because they are acquiring the share of the retiring partner. Now they will be getting more share in the profits as compared to the earlier share, right? So I'll make a comparison. What we studied in admission of a partner and what is there in retirement, right? In admission, if you remember, the old partners are sacrificing some part of their share in favor of the new partner. What is there? In admission, there is a sacrifice, right? Sacrifice by old partners, isn't it? But in case of retirement, there is no sacrifice. For the remaining partners, it is a gain. It is a gain for remaining partners. Clear? Now, in case of admission, because it is a sacrifice by the old partners, we calculated sacrificing ratio. And in case of retirement, it is a gain for the remaining partners. We will calculate gaining ratio for the remaining partners. Clear? What is the sacrificing ratio? How we calculated the sacrificing ratio? We say old share minus new share, because when you are sacrificing some part of your share, then your new share will be less than the old share, isn't it? So how we calculated the sacrificing ratio? We say old share, that is more, minus the new share, that is less. We will get the sacrifice. Clear? Then what is the gaining ratio? What is, in case of gaining ratio, the new share will be more. So we'll say new share minus old share. Clear? One thing that is common for both the cases is we require new profit sharing ratio in both the cases. For calculating the sacrificing ratio also, we need the new profit sharing ratio, and to calculate the gaining ratio also, we require the new profit sharing ratio. And how to calculate the new profit sharing ratio, that we have discussed in the last 2 lectures. Right? Is that clear? I have made a comparison. What is the treatment in case of admission of a partner, and what is the treatment in case of retirement of a partner? In case of admission, there is a sacrifice by the old partners in favor of a new partner. In case of retirement, the remaining partners are acquiring the share of the retiring partner. The retiring partner will give his share to the remaining partners, which is a gain for the remaining partners, because now they are going to enjoy more share in the profits as compared to earlier. Clear? In case of admission, we calculate the sacrificing ratio, and in case of retirement, we are going to calculate the gaining ratio. What is the sacrificing ratio? Old share minus the new share. Old share is more than the new share. That's why we say old share minus new share. What is the gaining ratio? When you are gaining, your new share will be more than the old share. Earlier you were earning rupees 100, now you are earning rupees 150. What is your gain? 150 minus 100, 50 rupees. Right? So we'll say new share minus the old share. Clear? What is common in both the cases? That we require the new profit sharing ratio in both the cases. In case of sacrificing ratio also, in case of gaining ratio also. Clear? Now, let's see a practical problem on gaining ratio. See the first part. A, B and C were partners sharing profits in the ratio of 3:2:1. Find out the gaining ratio when A retires. Read this much only. They say there are 3 partners, A, B and C. They are sharing profits in the ratio of 3:2:1. Clear? They say this A retires. We have this much information only. Now I told you to calculate the gaining ratio, you need new profit sharing ratio. You need new profit sharing ratio. Now, can you tell me what will be the new profit sharing ratio in this case without any calculation? We studied in the very first lecture of retirement how to calculate the new profit sharing ratio when we are given only the old ratio and it is given that one of the partner retires. We are not given the ratio in which the remaining partners are acquiring the share of new partner. I told you in that case the new profit sharing ratio will be equal to the old ratio of the remaining partners. For that, forget this part. The new ratio will be 2:1 between B and C. Now we calculate the gaining ratio. What is gaining ratio? It is new share minus old share. What is the new share of B? If we talk of B, new share is 2/3. What is the old share? 2/6. So this comes to 6. 4 minus 2. 2/6. For C, what is the new share? 1/3. What is the old share? 1/6. 6. 1/6. So what is the gaining ratio? Gaining ratio comes to 2/6 ratio 1/6, that is 2:1. Now can you interpret something from here? Yes sir. In case we are not given the new profit sharing ratio, in case we are not given the new profit sharing ratio, then the gaining ratio will always be equal to the old ratio of remaining partners. Similar to what we did in new profit sharing ratio. Make a note here. In case we are not given new profit sharing ratio, then our gaining ratio will be equal to what? Our gaining ratio will be equal to the old ratio of the remaining partners. Is that clear, friends? If you are not given the new profit sharing ratio, right, and even you are not given the ratio in which the the remaining partners are acquiring the share of retiring partner, even then the new profit sharing ratio will be equal to the old ratio of remaining partners, and the gaining ratio will always be equal to the old ratio of remaining partners, right? What information we are given is only the old profit sharing ratio, and we are given that one of the partner retires from the partnership. That's it. In that case, the gaining ratio will be equal to the old ratio of remaining partners. Is that clear? Let's do some more practical problem. A, B and C are partners sharing profits and losses in the ratio of 1/2, 3/10 and 1/5. B retires from the firm and A and C decide to share the future profits in the ratio of 3:2. What we are given? The new profit sharing ratio, that is 3:2. Clear? Calculate the gaining ratio. Let's see. There are three partners, A, B and C, right? The existing profit sharing ratio between them is 1/2, 3/10 and 1/5. So if you take the common denominator, this comes to 5:3:2. Therefore, the old profit sharing ratio comes to 5:3:2, right? What is the new profit sharing ratio? What is the new profit sharing ratio? We are given the new profit sharing ratio is 3:2, right? So you can calculate the gaining ratio will be new share minus old share. So what is the new share here? 3/5. What is the old share for B, right? I'm assuming that A retires. Okay, the question says B retires. So for A, B retires. See, the question says B retires from the firm and A and C decide to share. So for A, what is the new share? 3/5. What is the old share? 5/10. So if we take the LCM, this comes to 1/10. Clear? Now for C, what is the new share of C? 2 by 5 minus what is the old share? 2 by 10. So if we take the LCM, 4 minus 2, this comes to 2 by 10. So here we get the gaining ratio as 1:2. Clear, friends? So in case of retirement, the existing partners, the remaining partners are going to have a gain in the share of profits. Therefore, we are going to calculate the gaining ratio. So the gaining ratio is new share minus the old share, right? And for this, we need the new profit sharing ratio. And in the last two lectures, we have discussed how to calculate the new profit sharing ratio. Clear, friends? So this is how we calculate the gaining ratio. Clear? So I told you how to calculate the new profit sharing ratio, and now how to calculate gaining ratio. In case of gaining ratio, always figure out what is the new profit sharing ratio. You will always be given the old profit sharing ratio. What you have to figure out is what is the new profit sharing ratio. And if you know how to calculate the new profit sharing ratio, then gaining ratio is absolutely simple, that the new share minus the old share. Clear? But in question, in exam, when you have less time and you get this kind of a case, right, where you are having only the old profit sharing ratio and they say one of the partners retires, then you know that the new profit sharing ratio is always equal to the old share of the remaining partners. And in that case, the gaining ratio will always be equal to the old share of remaining partners. That's a shortcut for the exams. Okay, when you have less of time and you are not asked to calculate the gaining ratio, you can always give a small note that because we are not given the new profit sharing ratio, or we are not given the ratio in which the partners, remaining partners, are going to acquire the share of the retiring partner, then the gaining ratio is always equal to the old ratio of the remaining partners. Is that clear, friends? Right? So we have covered two topics here. If you have noted down the list of topics, we have covered two topics. That is, the first is new profit sharing ratio, right? And in this we covered the gaining ratio, right? So now in the next lecture, we are going to discuss a new topic of goodwill. Although not a new for you, but new in terms of retirement of a partner. How to treat the goodwill in case of retirement of a partner. Right? I will suggest that you must go through the topic of goodwill and how we are treating goodwill in change in profit sharing ratio and admission. If you can understand those topics, right? So this retirement topic is going to be a very easy one for you, that how we are going to treat goodwill in case of retirement of a partner. Right, friends? So in the next lecture, we are going to discuss about goodwill. That's it for this lecture, friends. Thank you so much.